Man, how many more times can this happen before the election? How many more criminal cases can Donald Trump be wrapped up in before 5 days from now? How does he do it? He's like, listen, Donald Trump's obsessed with being a winner. So you have to know it pains me to say this. But if there was a crime contest among every single person who has ever been president, Donald Trump would win that contest 1,000,000 times out of 1,000,000, okay? There is no universe in which any other president of the United States could manage to do as much crime as Trump can manage to pull off. I don't know how he does it. He's like, he invents crimes. He manages to do crimes that I've never heard of before. It's wild to me. Regardless, though, Arizona's top prosecutor is investigating Trump's comments about Liz Cheney as a possible death threat. For those who don't know, he said that she should be shot, I believe, which I wouldn't say is necessarily a death threat, but when you are a public figure like that, speaking publicly, yeah, that could be seen as an incitement to violence towards a elected representative. So not great, not good, not really the kind of behavior you want from a potential president of the United States, but that is what Trump has made normal. Okay, full disclosure, my answer is nothing happens, but I'm curious. Comment down below on the video if you have a take on this. Do you think Donald Trump ends up, at any point in the future, in trouble for any of the crimes he's committed, or does he get away with all of them? Like, even if he loses the election, in perpetuity, he gets away with everything. Do you think that's what happens, or do you think eventually they're gonna get his ass? And when I say get his ass, I mean in cuffs, behind bars, mugshot, and he's in jail. Like, for a while. Like, maybe even prison. Yeah, he's gonna go down? Well, comment down below when this goes out as a video. It helps the engagement a ton, and I'm genuinely curious. So you might have noticed, I've started reading comments a lot more and replying to them lately. I've had a lot more free time as of late, so that's kind of allowed for it. But, yeah, dude. Just, I don't think anything's going to come from it, but if you're optimistic or less optimistic, I'd like to know what your reason is and why in the comments. But in the meantime, we've got this video here from 12 News, ABC, about this story. This is like brand new, breaking news right now, like 2 hours old. So let's find out what's going on. I don't even know a lot about what's going on here. Just the basics.
He made what could be interpreted as a threat. Let's listen to what Donald Trump said.
She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it.
Okay, never mind. That was not the quote that I had heard, which was basically amounted to Trump saying she should be shot. He outright, like, went into detail saying, let's put her, and then described a situation in which his supporters would be shooting her. Yeah, no, this isn't just a death threat. It's outright incitement to violence. Public, to his supporters, incitement of violence towards a specific person. Ooh, that's like hard Fed posting. I don't think that's legal. Like, that's definitely not legal to do. Ooh, dude. If Trump could ever get in trouble for something he said, this might be it. I didn't know it was this bad. I had no clue it was that bad. Then again, I would still probably err on the side that Trump gets away with this and everything else, but I didn't know it was that severe. I thought he had just said something in passing, not... Damn. Let's rewatch that clip.
Trump said.
She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
Dude, I need to up my game. What the fuck? And I thought I could Fed post. Jesus, dude. In front of the crowd, too. Not even like a bro conversation on a podcast or whatever. Just saying it to the crowd publicly. That's insane. It's a sad comment in our society that I'm not even fazed anymore. Yeah. Yeah, I really do think it is important to stop for a second and realize how fucking crazy this is, that this is where politics are now. This is what is acceptable for the right, and meanwhile, the left is having to deal with every single nonsense accusation the right makes about the left, and yet this is completely acceptable. Are you guys ready for the next 5 days of damage control and making excuses for what Trump said here, how it's not that bad. It's, well, you didn't understand. He didn't mean it that way. And if he did, it was just an exaggeration. He's just very passionate, all of the nonstop complaints, excuses for what he said. I'm ready for it. 5 straight days of just, that's not what he meant. That's not what he said. You're mischaracterizing him, yada, yada.
That was Donald Trump talking about his critic, Liz Cheney, appearing to suggest she be put before a firing squad.
She's a radical warhawk.
Well, the first thing I would say, Bram, is it is, just outrageous.
It's not a death threat. It's an incitement of violence, a separate crime, if I recall correctly.
Just that Donald Trump would come to Arizona
Possibly
and make
more severe
statements
one.
like that are clearly, at least appear to be threatening and harassing and intimidating. And I'll be clear with you, I have already asked my criminal division chiefs to start looking at that statement, analyzing it for whether it qualifies as a death threat under Arizona's laws. So I'm not prepared now to say whether it was or it wasn't, but it is not helpful as we...
I don't think it's going to qualify as a death threat so much as it's going to qualify as him directly inciting violence and calling for violence. That is probably an ironclad charge on him. But a charge of death threat, he might be able to wiggle his way out of that if that's what they try to go for.
Prepare for our election, and as we try to make sure that we keep the peace at our polling places and in our state, and as I know we will, have once again a free and fair and safe election.
His supporters, Donald Trump supporters, would say, come on, that's political speech, free speech.
Now,
You think it may have crossed the line?
I mean, that's the question.
So conservatives believe, or they claim to believe, that free speech is good as an absolute, no matter what, in every case. Like, because speech is free, that speech is good. You don't have to agree with it. It doesn't have to be positive. It can even be destructive speech, and you can prove it's destructive. But the fact that you're allowed to say it makes the speech good, and it makes it valid. Because that is how the right likes to engage with and treat free speech in this country. That's how they talk about the First Amendment. They're very cringe about it, right? But then they will acknowledge tons of scenarios in which they don't think free speech is necessarily applying to everything that gets said, right? Classic example is yelling fire in a crowded theater or using your platform to directly incite violence. Many conservatives, in a lot of examples that don't involve someone they have to defend because it's the line they must toe, will absolutely recognize the fault in that behavior when they see it and call it out. They'll call it out in the Democrats if they catch a whiff of it, for sure. But when Trump does it, or when someone they like does it, it's less so that they really believe that all speech is good when it's protected by the First Amendment, and it's more that they already agree with that speech, and that when it's getting criticized, the only justification, the only defense for what was said that they can come up with is that they have the right to say it. And that you, by disagreeing with it, calling it out, or pressing charges because what was said was even criminal and isn't even protected by the First Amendment, that's crossing the line. Because they can't actually defend what they say, they have to defend their right to say it.
Whether it did cross a line. And
even when no one's attacking their right to say it.
the fact, though, that he would come to Arizona and make a statement like that against Liz Cheney, who has been speaking out against him and exercising her free speech, I think is just not helpful. It's deeply troubling, and it is.
I'm sensing a theme in today's stream when it comes to the conservative pundits that we're covering. Free speech for me, but not for thee. Always, every time. Their beliefs don't really make sense when you compare them to their actions and what they target and attack. Why is it bad for people on Twitter on the left to get upset that a large public figure or a presidential nominee on the right said or did something bad, but it is acceptable to obsess and attack random developers of a game because you consider them left-leaning or woke and that their art is being impacted by their politics? Why does that justify harassment and massive amounts of criticism? But you cannot criticize a presidential candidate who is, for example, promised to turn the military on citizens of this country, engage in mass deportations towards those that dissent against him. Hell, just destroy our democracy as a whole, who has full legal immunity if he gets elected to do this by the Supreme Court if he is president, because it'll be considered an official action and thus immune. Because of a Supreme Court made up of right-wing judges mostly, many of which he appointed. They want their cake and to eat it too, every time.
It's the kind of thing that riles people up and that makes our situation in Arizona and other states more dangerous.
Interesting. I did not know it was that severe. I had no clue. That's fucking crazy. The comments say, have you ever seen a cornered rat? Desperation at its worst. How am I supposed to teach our children it is inappropriate to communicate threats and be positive community leaders when they're seeing this disgusting behavior? I want to see him hauled off stage in cuffs, grasping at straws. We understood the context. Don't treat us like we're stupid. What is the context? Okay, so here's the conservatives already engaging in their copium response. What's the context? Yep, we understood it too, which is why he'll lose the election. Good response. He does not explain the context. Every decision is different. When people who decides to go to war will be on the front line are members of their immediate family. What could be interpreted as a threat? It is a threat. You need to put it back into the context it was presented, not give half statements. Okay, let's see the full clip. Trump, lose, Cheney, threat, Arizona. Let's see if we can find the full quote. Let's see. Is he being taken out of context here by a prosecutor? Because for some reason, I kind of doubt it. I'm not saying it's an impossible scenario, but it just seems unlikely. Nope. CNN couldn't be fucked to include the video. To be fair, it is easy as a conservative, and I see why a lot of conservatives can easily just jump on the fake news bandwagon. When I'm not going to lie, most mainstream left-leaning news outlets suck a massive fucking cock at journalism. I'm going to be real. How the fuck do they cover so frequently a video or a clip or a speech and then never include a raw video of the speech they're talking about? Why is it so hard when looking through all the top news media to find a single raw clip that isn't just commentary on it, you know? It's easy to claim fake news and, oh, they're taking them out of context when, yeah, they low-key are. I cannot find the context, guys. What context would make it okay? I do think, nonetheless, it's pretty fucked that no one is reporting or allowing people to see the full clip. And it allows the right to get away with saying, in context, it's fine. You need to show the context because the right will manufacture a context in which the shit that Trump says is okay. Is this it?
Heading to the final weekend, both.
It's not.
Carlson,
it's not. It's not. It's not. Good for Damn. Yeah, dude. Dude, seriously, fuck USA Today, MSNBC, CNN, Wall Street Journal, every single mainstream left-leaning outlet. They really dropped the ball on this one. Holy crap. Dude, possibly one of the biggest examples of Trump letting the mask slip, and they refuse to not give the right an out to say it's fake. Wow. How is it this hard to find? I am on page 5 of Google search results. I hope you guys know that. I'm on page 5 of Google search results. We are still on Judge Condemns. We're still looking at people giving their takes on the situation. Good God, is it just the fact that Google sucks now, or are all of these, and we're back to this, we're somehow back to where we started, in front of a disable your ad blocker screen. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. Okay. You know what? Trump deserves to get away with this. He does. Fuck the mainstream left-wing news outlets that cannot be fucked to include the raw video that they're reporting on. This is straight up bad journalism, and I won't let anyone tell me otherwise. No wonder the right has been so capable of claiming fake news. These institutions fucking blow! Not to mention how much they attacked Biden for being sleepy or whatever. Xana's breaking? I am. I really am. Dude, I can't do this anymore, man. No one in chat is providing links. It's fucking killing me, bro. Trump's threat. Liz Cheney. I do not care if this segment just ends up being an hour of me desperately scrambling to find the raw clip so we know what the context is. Because I refuse to be as low effort and lazy as CNN or MSNBC. I'm going to actually do the work of providing my readers / viewers with the actual context of which this was said in. Is this it?
And welcome back here. It's Sue Live now from Fox. I'm Andrew.
Oh my God. Trump says Warhawk Liz Cheney should be fired upon an escalation of violent rhetoric against his opponents.
4 days out from Election Day.
Okay, is this it? Is this finally it? Oh my God. Oh, I'm malding, dude. I'm fucking malding.
She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face. You know, they're all war hawks when they're sitting in Washington in a nice building saying, oh, gee, let's send 10,000 troops right into the mouth of the enemy.
Let's see how she feels.
Wait, like actually though, no wonder they cut it out of context, because the context does make it different. He is literally arguing that if you're a politician, it's easy to be a war hawk when you're sitting at a desk and you're not the one getting shot at. But if you're the one getting sent out to war and you're the one getting like shot at with guns, your politics and your position on war is probably going to change pretty fucking fast. It's a bullshit perspective because Trump doesn't believe in like, you know, non-war. He is a war hawk and everything, but that's not Trump even calling for violence. That's Trump saying, just making a bullshit appeal to populist sentiment. Dude, wait, this is actually like scummy. Like, fuck Trump and everything. We're not defending him here, but like, that does kind of change the situation, right? Heartbreaking. The worst person you know was taken out of context. Dude, you see why it was so hard to find this? At least CNN included the whole of it, but like, dude, the framing of it was so much worse than it actually is. It's just Trump being a dumbass, not Trump out even encouraging violence, which he's done before. Dude, I feel so justified, bro. I actually feel so justified in shitting on all of these mainstream left-wing news outlets after that. This is the kind of shit that Trump and the Republican Party use and actually have a little bit of ground to stand on when they claim fake news and they claim that they're being attacked and mischaracterized by mainstream media. I hadn't seen more of that clip than the original thing I sent you, Zan. I didn't know. Fuck corporate news media? Exactly, dude. This is 5 days out from the election. Mind you, I wouldn't be surprised if they did this on purpose to help Trump. Maybe, to be fair, the prosecutor is apparently looking into charging Trump. But these charges are going to fall flat, bro. What the hell? Dude. This so quickly turned from a segment about Donald Trump being, like, openly fascist into a segment about how you cannot trust headlines or even the framing of clips. Even when it sounds right, even when it's something you want to believe is 100% true, you gotta do that extra research. And as you can tell, it's a pain in the ass. It's not fun, but boy does it pay off. You get to find out, oh wait, these institutions are not quite trustworthy, but they're not untrustworthy for the reasons that these dumbfuck Trump supporters like to claim. God help me. The election can't happen soon enough. Please win, Kamala. Yeah. Oh, God. Anyway, with all that said, if you enjoyed that segment, if you found it enjoyable, entertaining, or even educational, then please consider perhaps dropping a like on this video. Whether you're watching it as a live stream at this very moment as I speak to you, which, by the way, likes really help when I'm live. Seriously, if you're watching right now and you haven't hit like, what are you even doing, dude? Hit that like button. Your like counts. Even your one like counts. And if you're watching this as a video, especially consider hitting that like button and comment down below to boost the effect of your like as well. Engagement is key on YouTube, and channels die for lack of engagement. So if you want to help me out, then please make your view count. I appreciate it. I really do. And with that said as well, if you want to see more from me on other platforms, you can follow my social medias, which are all linked down below in the description, including my fan Discord, where I host game events and call in streams and watch parties, or one of them, usually just one of them, at least once a week, and announce all my new uploads and streams. And finally, if you want to support me directly, financially, and help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head, then please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or supporting me financially through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buying merch through the Streamlabs link down below. But regardless of how you support me, I really do appreciate it. And as always, have a good one.